That was no-brainer to me. Lue remains unapologetic on trading Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for Paul George. The LA Clippers received a ton of flack in the summer of 2019 for trading Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to the OKC Thunder for Paul George. LA sent SGA, Danilo Gallinari, 5 first-round picks and 2 first-round pick swaps for an established star. The intensity of the criticisms increased last season when Gilgeous-Alexander won MVP and led the Thunder to the championship. On Club Shay Shay, with host Shannon Sharpe, Lue, then an assistant coach with the Clippers, had this to say about the trade. Lue insisted that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was an emerging star whom the Clippers traded for an MVP candidate. Reports also came out that when Kawhi Leonard signed with the team, the Clippers promised Leonard they would acquire a second star. George, who comes from LA and is a good friend of the two-time NBA Finals MVP, was one of their best options. Lue added that nobody knew SGA would become an MVP and pushed back against critics relying on their 2020 hindsight. The LA Clippers were bona fide championship contenders when Leonard and George were simultaneously healthy. But since they struggled to shake off the injury bug, the duo could not fulfill LA's potential. George eventually left the Clippers last season after the team refused to give him a long-term max extension. Doc Rivers once claimed Clippers had to trade for Paul George at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's expense. Lue wasn't the only former LA Clippers coach who claimed the team needed to trade for Paul George. Doc Rivers, who led the coaching staff, spoke to NBA greats Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce on the KG Certified podcast about the trade. Rivers had this to say when asked by Garnett about his thoughts on the franchise-altering deal. Rivers claimed that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander would have been great even if he had stayed with the Clippers. They eventually made the trade because they were in win-now mode, which might not have happened in SGA's second year with the team. The Canadian developed as many expected, which turned the Thunder franchise. Meanwhile, the Clippers retooled again under Lue and are still looking for their first franchise championship.